What's up, everybody? Emceemur here. Welcome back to the show. And today we're going to be talking about something in-depth, something very interesting, something that I talked about recently on the CAPTNRETRO Talking Retro podcast with the Captain himself. We were discussing the ARCADE1UP arcade replica machines that are out there on the market, and you got people all over the place on these things. They're either really for them or really against them, and the people that were really for them, they were really in there defending this thing hard. They were just almost hostile in a sense, but it's like, you know, I appreciate the passion. I just don't feel like we can overlook some of the quality issues there. And then you had some people that were just, you know, they were strongly disagreeing, but they were trying to offer up reasons why these things are viable, why they do make sense, why they are cool. And I'm willing to listen to that, because initially I was somebody that wanted to purchase one of these things, and because of the way business was done, I backed off. So we need to talk about that. One commenter specifically chimed in with a special deal that he had found on a particular unit and insisted that I should hop right on it and that I wouldn't be sorry. And you know, again, that's the kind of feedback I like to get on the show and on the podcast and wherever I am. I like to get feedback like that, stuff I didn't already know. And I keep a very open mind. And to show you that I keep a very open mind, I bought one of the damn things. So here it is. The Asteroids cabinet. It wasn't the one I wanted. Originally I wanted the Centipede one. But there was a special deal on this thing. It was through Walmart for $199. Now, I had said before that $150 was top of the mark for me on these things, and they retail at $300. And originally they were supposed to retail at more than that, from, you know, what I've been told. $150 is top of the mark for me. This was $199. Black Friday deals were $249. I feel like I met him in the middle, you know, and that's something that we do a lot in this business. So I didn't feel bad about it. In fact, I jumped at the chance. I wanted to give this thing a shot. All along, I've wanted this to be good. I'm not trying to start nothing here. I'm really not. But there's issues. And we're going to talk about those issues, all right? And I'm going to show them to you, and you're going to look right at them, and there they are. And there's really nothing more to say about it. We've got to talk about it. Now, assembly of this thing was not a big deal. It wasn't hard to do. And you know, I'm a guy that hates and is not good at assembly. So I can tell you, this was an easy assembly. I mean that. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, it's putting it together is a snap, and then you get it, and it's totally not. It was very easy. Nothing to it. Everything was well set up in there. All you need is a screwdriver. That wasn't the issue, all right? We're looking at, again, just cheap components here. And when I say this is cheap particle board, I mean this is the cheapest of the cheap particle board. It's so bad. You better not over-tighten any screws. You better not. And I didn't. But I found split wood in one of the boards before I had even taken any screws to it. You know, again, I had not done any bolt tightening on this piece yet. It was just already split. This is really cheap particle board. Now the thing's together, obviously, and it's on the bottom. I don't think it's going to cause a problem. Should I let it go? No. Am I going to? Yes. That's not the only issue, though. Now we get the screen here, and there's trash inside of it, and it looks like it's on the plastic. It's almost like some white paint or something on the inside of the plastic, and there's a little bit of it actually on the screen, and I can see it right in here. I got a few close-up shots we can take a look at that might better illustrate what I'm trying to show you there, but that little speck of white paint is enough to just drive you nuts. I mean, it just drives me up a wall, because we're talking about a game that's all, you know, the white looking vector light graphics anyway, so that sticks out like a sore thumb, and I can't stand it. Now, hey, just take the thing apart and clean it. Wait a minute. Yeah, hang on. We already know we got a very limited warranty with these folks, 3 months. And I don't know what I can do to this thing and what I can't do to it as far as, oh, well, we won't touch it now. If they're going to send me another outside shell or something, and I think they should, I'd rather just have them do that. And I'll take it apart all at once and just be one and done with it. Here's the issue. Everybody has said, not only in review videos, but on social media as well, that this company takes care of you, that customer service is going to be there for you. Well, I filled out the paperwork to get the plastic cover for the deck here. Better not rub it too hard. I got a confirmation that it went through, but not a confirmation that anything's being done or that the order's been shipped. We really don't even know if that's been done. I just know it was accepted. And I know that what I read was those are only going to be available as long as supplies last. Supplies last? Have you seen how many units are still in the stores? And they're not shipping with those covers. They're not. So you're basically telling me you're going to cover this issue for as many people as you feel like you can, and then everyone else just gets to go scratch? That's not fair. And how do I know I'm not amongst those that are too late to the party, that I'm not going to get one now? Well, I don't know that. Moving beyond that, again, I want this taken care of first and foremost. Getting the screen put in, the brackets lined up just fine with the holes, except for this bottom bracket. All the holes were lined up, the holes were drilled wrong right here. So, and they were so far off that there wasn't even any just wedging them in there. And again, you wouldn't want to do that if you could, because of the cheap particle board. If you did it wrong, you'd splinter it and it would crack and you'd be done for. Guaranteed. Do not force anything installing this. So I basically have the 3 brackets here holding the screen in, and it ain't going anywhere. But the point is, the holes are drilled wrong, all right? Not good. Is that an issue? Probably. Should I let it go? Probably not. But anyway, that's 2 actual pieces here that have problems, and then we have the matter of the screen. I filled out the information, sent in something for support, haven't got anything back yet, and this was before Christmas. And again, I know they're dealing with stuff from Christmas. I know they're probably swamped, but didn't get so much as a confirmation that my case is even going to be looked at. So I'm just throwing emails out there. All the while, the clock's ticking on this warranty. Huh. So I called the phone number. Phone number's actually plastered to the screen when you get it. Call us if you have issues. Great, I'll be sure to do that. So I did. I waited on hold for an hour straight, and eventually I just had to hang up. I had stuff I had to go do. I couldn't sit on the phone anymore. Tried them again today and held again for upwards of an hour, and again had another call come. I had to get off the line, man. So that's what's up. These have issues, okay? And if you buy one, it probably has issues. Should you expect immediate support? I can't say that you should. I don't think that's going to happen for you. You have to know going in what you're getting into here. And you know, I talk about a lot of products in some cases that are like that. Like, hey, it is what it is. As long as you know going in, you'll be okay. And I did know. I expected actually more to be wrong than this. It's usable, all right? It is. And we're going to check it out right now. Let's turn it on. Takes a minute to power up, and there you have it. You know, I got a little more excited about owning this particular cabinet because of the games that were on it and my recent involvement and participation in the playing of these games. These games are available on the Atari collections, out now for your Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. And I've been enjoying all these, but really have enjoyed Major Havoc the most. That is not a game I ever played back in the day. Didn't really know anything about it, and I'm really digging it. It's a cool game. And Asteroids, obviously, is an all-time great classic, and it's a game that my daughter Molly really fell in love with at the Southern Fried Gaming Expo this past year. So, you know, having spent some time playing that bad boy, she's kind of excited to have this thing in the house too. But how well does it handle? Let's take it for a test drive. Now this dial kind of comes right up off the wood. You can really feel the chintziness there. it's just one of those things that I don't know how long that's going to hang in there. I can definitely see why these things are breaking as demo units out for, you know, the public to just come up and go crazy on. But let's play. So we're playing some Asteroids, and you know, it is fun. It's fun, it works, but you got to get used to the timing. The timing is off from the original. It's off from other versions of this that I've played. I talked about timing in the Galaga machine that I demoed. It was off a little bit. It's about a half-second behind in the firing. You can hear the pews coming in about a half-second behind the actual button clicks. I don't understand why that is. If it has something to do with the game itself versus the hardware not talking to each other, or I don't know, whatever it is, but it is existent and you can see that demonstrated here. You can hear it. Major Havoc is a major mess. I mean, what a nightmare. The dial doesn't even work. You can see it right here. I turn to the left and it goes to the right. I mean, what is this crap? It's just really disappointing because this was the game I think I was excited about playing on here the most. So just use the buttons, right? It's got an alternate set of controls here. Wrong. The lefts and the rights in this game have to be feathered. And you could do that with a working dial, but not with buttons. There's no feathering. You're either pressing the button or you're not. So this game is unplayable. And you got to remember that all these games here could be played on the Atari collections, the volumes out for the Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. And that would be a much better way to play these games if you're actually going to be able to control them correctly. Now, Tempest worked just fine with the dial. The dial was spot on, the controls were right, which leads me to believe that the ROM or whatever for Major Havoc and the dial, you know, this hardware is just not talking to each other correctly. And, you know, I've heard of that happening in arcade machines, so I think that's what's going on here. But, you know, Tempest was fine. I was able to play it. And then you got Lunar Lander, which I really enjoy some Lunar Lander. There's something calming about it. Just landing the ship, just you and the ship, and the hum of the thrusters. It actually handled pretty good on here too. In fact, I have to say that I guess it's a toss-up between it and Tempest, but it may be the best handling game on here. And you know how I gauge that? I gauge that with how difficult Lunar Lander is in general. At least for me anyways. I would never claim to be a pro on it. But playing this, I was actually able to land the dadgum spaceship. Now that's saying something. So all in all, is this thing worth it? $300? Definitely not, which it's back up to that price, by the way. $199? I'm not really regretting it that much. I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. It's a nice piece of game room furniture. I've heard some people coin it as that. That's not really what I bought it for, but it's small enough to where I can fit it in here, and I think it's going to be kind of cool to have. I mean, the dial didn't really perform as it should, and I've heard numerous complaints about said dial. There's videos on fixes for that dial. It's not my job to fix it, you know. It's my job to assemble it, but it's not my job to fix it. I mean, there's a mark here on the wood. I'm just now noticing that. I mean, maybe I can touch that up, but you know, that's not what you buy these to do. If your excuse for not buying a real authentic arcade cabinet is you would have to do some work on it, well, that just went out the window, because I got plenty of work I got to do to this thing now. I just want to see if they're even going to respond. Is there any customer service at all? And we'll see, and there's going to be update videos on that. But I got to tell you, we're far from done with this scenario, and we're going to see it all the way through, and I'm going to keep you posted all the way through, and hopefully it works out just fine. But it's not looking like it's going to. Have you contacted support? Have you had a problem with your unit? Did anybody hook you up? Let me know how you did it. Let me know how it went. I'd love to hear about it, because at this point, I need to figure out what I'm going to do on my end. Drop a like on this video. If you have not already done so, I hope that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show for reviews, unboxings, live game streams, all the action you can stand right here on the show, and make sure that you smack that notification bell so you are always the first to know when new content goes live. You know that I love making it for you. Emceemur signing off for this episode, and I will see each and every one of you again next time.